Victor and Eileen Marks here. We laugh because we've tried to do this several times, and
This is it, third time's
this
the
is
charm.
it. This is
This is
it.
it. We're gonna
More
get
than
this.
three,
We're gonna
but
do this.
yeah, we're gonna
Make
do
it
it.
happen.
Okay, right now.
Let's do it.
Adjust my shirt,
Let's do it.
scratch my head. Let's do it.
We'll do it.
So here's the deal. We're a husband and wife of 5 children. 3 are adults married. Each one has given us a grandchild. We're thankful. We see some of their struggles as young married couples, and yet we have 2 teenagers here, and we have teenage challenges, and then we're still in our marriage, even 3 decades, but we certainly haven't arrived. So what I'm trying to say is that we absolutely understand the challenge of real life. This past weekend, our sweet daughter had a group of high schoolers over, end of year, came to the training leadership property, which is also where we've lived for years, but we're building it out, and we'll launch it in the summer. But some teenage boys running around and whatnot, and one of them, his enthusiasm and excitement as a car was coming down our driveway because we have some property. This kid, he yells out, "I'm effing," whatever. And one, he didn't realize I was close enough to see and hear him. And worse, he didn't realize my bride was walking by. So I walked out of the darkness and said, "Hey, young man, what's your name?" He told me. And then I said, "How old are you?" He told me his age. I said, "You realize you just dropped the F-bomb really loud?" And he was kind of shocked, like, and then he said, "Oh, okay, yeah." I said, "Well, my wife was walking by, and, it's my property, my wife." I looked at him and said, "Don't ever do that again. Not here." I said, "You know why? Because you're better than that." And he told me his age. I said, "You got, you can count the months before you're considered an adult." And I said, "You know what? You're better than this. Be the man that I know you can be." Didn't take his dignity away. Didn't do nothing like that. Just checked him a little bit. There's a saying: if you build a child, you won't have to prepare an adult. And it's important for us as a society as Christians, using the Bible as a standard for what's right and wrong. And that's just, profanity. Some of you are like, "Oh, Victor, isn't that big of a deal." And I agree. In some situations, around some people, it's not that big of a deal. But young high school girls, ladies.
Well, and here's the interesting thing. Our daughter was embarrassed because everyone who found out about that conversation, this young man was challenged, but at the end of the night, he tried to find
Mr. Marks.
Mr. Marks and thank him.
Yeah.
So, you know what? It's okay to be embarrassed. And I believe that young man will remember that.
Yeah.
And if we don't take a stand, especially in our home, then
Society will pay the price.
Well, and how do these young people learn
Yeah.
if they're not called out?
Well, there's collateral damage, right? I think so many families that have just given up on their kids and let them do what they want. Well, guess what? The problem may leave your home, but it enters the society. We're seeing some of that right now through looting and nonsense.
And in the end, our daughter was, I think she was proud. I think that her dad would take a stand, and that this young man would rise to the challenge spoke volumes. So that ended well.
Yeah, it's, again, I ain't the profanity police, but I just think it's wise for men to call young men to be the best they can be.
Yeah.
And again, look, I'm former Marine. I travel in circles, and potty mouth's not uncommon. In certain aspects, I have to watch myself. But with my wife and girls around, I definitely think this young man needed to get checked and just say, hey man, be a gentleman, recognize there's ladies around, and we should treat them as such, because they deserve it. Now, with that said, you want to read your scripture?
I do, because with all this chaos and mayhem going on, we have access to the creator of the universe. And I know he's not scared. He's not shaking his hands. He's not saying what in the world is happening. He knew it ahead of time, and he wants us to believe in him. And here's a scripture. But let all those who rejoice put their trust in you. Let them ever shout for joy because you defend them. Let those also who love your name be joyful in you. For you, O Lord, will bless the righteous. With favor, you will surround him as with a shield. That's Psalms 5, 11, and 12. So we, out of all the people in the world who know the creator of the world, need to be able to stand firm, stand strong. We don't have to be anxious, afraid. We know there's chaos, but we need to bring order into this chaos.
Yeah.
And we do that first in our home. We need to fight for our home, for our peace, for what we desire, what God desires in our home, right?
Not easy.
We don't. It isn't easy. I
It's
mean,
not
it's
easy.
work,
Yeah.
but it's worth it, and it starts in our homes.
Yeah, men, you have to lead. You have to take the stand. Boom, 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 boom. Women, you got to support your husband. Don't, cut his legs out from under him. Kids need to obey their parents. These are biblical truths that matter. So believe me, we hear the pain of people all the time, and sometimes I just say, well, is the pain enough to bring change? That you'd be willing to follow the Lord, follow his word, submit your life to him. If not, a lot of it's just being brought on by yourself. So people are selfish. I mean, it takes the power of God to change us to want to do and be his will. So,
And we need to remember, when the enemy comes in our home, it's not against each other. It's not against our children. He is coming after to destroy the family. He's the one we need to get after.
he's been after that since the garden.
Yes.
So protect your family, learn to fight back to back, not nose to nose.
That's right.
Victor and Eileen Marks here for All Things Possible Ministries. Hey, if you like what we do, if you get encouraged, go to our website, Victor Marks with an X.com. You can sign up for emails, because who knows, social media may be keeping you from getting all of our updates. Because you know how Facebook and Instagram can be all right, guys.
God bless you.
Love y'all.